Hello, this is Gail Perry and Catherine Gamble here today, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, how and when to announce your capital campaign. Right, Catherine?
That's right, because that is a very important thing. You will hear over and over again that question from your board members and others. When are you announcing your campaign?
Oh, yes. And so the first thing we want to mention is what exactly is a capital campaign announcement? What are we trying to accomplish when we make a campaign announcement? Catherine, want to talk about PR?
Yes, because you know what, Gail, that is a really good question. Why do we do this? One that I don't think many people answer, but we're going to answer it for you today. So it is about PR. It is about being able to share with the community more broadly and your constituents and all the lovely people who support your organization and people within your organization about what it is you're doing, how you're impacting your community, how you're impacting the people you serve, how you're impacting your constituents. This is your story, and this is where you want to really tell broadly and cast it widely in this moment.
And so if you think about your capital campaign announcement, it is a big splash. It is a PR moment. This is when you have the marching band and the balloons and the cheerleaders. This is when you create as much excitement as you can possibly create in your community, both your stakeholders, your members, your donors, everybody all together. It is not an elite event. Instead, it is a community-wide celebration.
And that is important to think about. Think about being able to invite the community to your organization or into the space where your organization serves. Think about that for a minute with whether you actually have balloons or not. I have been to some, Gail, where you really do have balloons, but some it's a little quieter or whatever. But you think about being able to invite everyone. And that's what's so important at this particular moment.
I remember when I was working at UNC Chapel Hill and we announced our capital campaign in this great big basketball arena, and we had everybody there, and the curtain rose and there was James Taylor playing Carolina on My Mind. And were you there for that, Catherine? We wept because it was an emotional moment. So what is a capital campaign announcement? It is a PR moment, big splash. And so therefore, what is the true purpose? What is the true purpose? What is the objective of your campaign announcement, Catherine?
Yeah, well, it's really one thing is to build excitement. I mean, think about all the effort and the work that your organization has put into the new building, the new program, whatever it is that your campaign is about. And you want to share that with everyone and get everybody excited about this work that you're doing. And this allows you, it's a wonderful opportunity to make your community more aware of your organization, aware of your impact, aware of your services, exactly what you're doing.
And so let's talk about a challenging question, which is when do you announce your capital campaign? And we have to deal with this about every campaign that we direct. What do you think, Catherine?
We really do, because there's the kind of old school thinking there. And there was a day when this worked where you got to 50% of your campaign goal and you just announced it, regardless of what else was going on. And the thinking and campaigns have evolved and changed. You really are getting closer to 70% or closer to the end of the campaign before having that really big announcement. But the most important thing, more important than just a percentage, is that by the time you announce your campaign, you know exactly where the money's coming from. You know exactly how you're going to raise it, and you're sure that your goal that you're announcing can be met.
So you never want to announce a campaign goal, everybody, unless you know you can make the goal. I mean, if you have raised, say, 70% of your campaign or maybe 75% of your campaign, hopefully, you know who the donors are who are still in play and who are interested in helping, and approximately how much they may be giving, so that you have a sense of exactly what is the path to meet the campaign goal. So again, it's a PR thing. You never want to announce a goal unless you can make it. And if you announce too big of a goal, like announce publicly, you're setting your organization up for some risk, because you do not want to announce a goal that you know you cannot make. So a key point in the when to announce a campaign is the magic word of momentum. The reason we wait also until the almost 3/4 of the way through this whole effort is to create that momentum and excitement that will sail you on to your goal. Because it may be that you've been at it for a couple of years or even longer in the silent phase, and everybody's getting just a little tired. And it's nice to have, although we have strategies to keep people from getting tired, but that's another topic. But everybody's spirits will be lifted. Your volunteers who may be somewhat, people get exhausted in these big efforts. It's a big capital campaign is like a war room mentality. Every day things happening like this. So a campaign announcement is an organizational peak in which you claim the attention of the community and you celebrate your work.
It's a really great opportunity, and it deserves really thoughtful preparation and really good execution. So this is a really important, critical stage of your campaign when you get ready to announce it. So kind of, you're sharing your impact, what it is you're doing. You're really capitalizing on your momentum and really moving your campaign forward by building awareness and excitement among your community. And as Gail was just saying, among your current leadership and your current donors, because they're all involved, because they're seeing that they helped you get across the finish line. More importantly, they're seeing the impact that they helped make in your community. And then you have done all your homework and your fundraising homework and your analysis, and you know where your money's coming from, and you know you're going to get across that finish line. So it is a critical and sometimes I think too wonderful place for your campaign, having sat in that chair where I was planning one of these for the organization where I worked. That was truly, it did have a marching band. Literally had one.
So let's talk about our fourth point, which is how to announce a campaign. So our key point here is that your campaign, guess what, everybody, is not about the money that you're going to raise. It's about the change you're creating in the world, the impact you're going to create by opening a brand new community arts center where more kids and more people can come to celebrate creativity in the arts. It's about bringing a new cancer center or a new emergency room facility to your community, and how wonderful that's going to be for the patients and all the families who are going to be able to use this new facility. It's about opening a new federally funded health clinic so that we can reach more people in our community who can't afford medical help. It's about creating a whole new wave of student scholarships for needy students who want to be able to have a wonderful college education. It's about all these wonderful things that we do. It's about saving all the frogs in the swamp, to use one of my favorite analogies. And so saving a historic theater, building more habitat homes, creating more homes for people who want a hand up instead of a handout. I mean, these are your messages. It's not about the dollar amount. Right, Catherine?
Right. It's not. I mean, think about it. I just got excited listening to Gail go through that whole list of missions, really, and impacts. And people will read about it. They'll stop and read about that. They will, whether it's an article in the newspaper, something you put out in your newsletter, maybe you're on the news. However, that message is getting there, whatever the vehicle is, people will pay attention to that. They will not pay as much attention if you just announce dollars. Okay, they don't feel necessarily they can connect to that, but everybody's impacted by the quality of the community, everybody. And so people want to know what's happening, and they will read about it and they'll be excited about it. And like when we actually had the marching parade, Gail, that was when I was at the museum. And not only did we announce the campaign, but more importantly than the campaign itself, we were announcing the opening of the new building and the expanded art museum, and the whole community was invited in over a series of days of events and different opportunities to come and see and come and take part and come and be involved. And it was all open and all free to the public because it's a public art museum. So it was a wonderful opportunity to build this kind of excitement, and it was moving. I mean, it was great. And other organizations were asked to participate, like the marching band from one of the local colleges came in and led everyone into the new building. It was just like great. I still think about it. It's like James Taylor kind of thing. And, maybe not every organization can have such a big splash, But you know what? You do what's right for your organization, what fits this way that your organization celebrates itself in its social context. Whether it's setting up a whole series of tours, and that's another one, Gail, you've done about our tours. Whether it's setting up tours for the community to come and see what your organization is doing, like the new arts center, or it could be the new clinic. We years ago was involved with an organization that was opening a new health clinic, and they did a whole series of come and see tours for the community. And when we say community, we mean broadly community. These are inclusive events, reaching widely across your community and who your organization serves. It's important to think like that about this. And yes, you may have some events that are set up for your major donors, your lovely major donors who've supported your fundraising efforts, but more importantly, it's opening all of this up to your community very broadly.
And so, key point here is that you're not so much talking about all the multi-millions or even billions that you're going to be raising. The campaign announcement is not so much about the money part, the transactional, the financial part, as it is about the impact in the world. And in this day, a lot of the trends in fundraising, or there was an interesting report a couple of weeks ago that said that middle class and even upper middle class donors are saying that they're not giving because they feel like the wealthy should give. And so there's a lot of tension in philanthropy and fundraising today about overemphasizing the wealthy donors. And we don't want to scare off our mid-level and our community-based donors by going on and on about hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Yes, we will talk about it, but the emphasis is on the work and the beautiful changes you are bringing to the community. So, Catherine, let's talk about our last point. What happens with board members and campaign announcements? We see a lot of confusion and interesting ideas coming from board members when it comes time to announce a capital campaign. One of the largest challenges we see with many boards is that they think we're not having a capital campaign unless we announce it. Right, Catherine?
Right.
Well, we can't possibly raise money unless we have a big splash. And we say,
Right.
no, deep breath. We can raise a lot of money without a deep splash, because that's when we're zeroing in on our very major donors who have a lot of wealth and have strong interest and passion for our work. And we're going to work with them, and it takes time to work with them, as you know, to close a major or mega or transformational gift. And those gifts set the pace for the rest of the campaign. So taking your time up front is key. And you can't have pressure of a campaign announcement, right, Catherine?
Right. You can't. I mean, so many our lovely board members whom we deeply always appreciate, but they kind of think about it, as Gail was just saying, until we've announced this, we can't really have a campaign. They're not really aware of the level of analysis and other things that have to go on kind of behind the scenes. And they're not seeing this as an opportunity, the PR opportunity that it truly is either. They're thinking largely in that 50% mode. They're thinking, as Gail is saying, largely like we need to announce it soon. And that's the only way we're going to make this goal if we have this big announcement. And not just generally not really understanding exactly how the 21st century campaign actually works, or really thinking through, more importantly, what the true objective is for your campaign announcement, which is very strategic. And so there are ways to move your board members along by kind of getting them behind your objective first, and then say, oh, that means then we should do this. and they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I see, So it is there, you can change their minds.
But we have to run interference with a lot of boards. In fact, we have a board in one of our clients, very, very large campaign. The board was really, they just wanted to have a campaign, and they wanted to announce that daggone campaign, whether they were ready or not. They wanted to announce a goal, whether they could make it or not. It was slow down, let's staff up your development office. Let's get a major gift program in the works. Let's do your donor data analysis. All these things that we do to prepare for a successful campaign. They were ready to run out the door right now with the balloons and whistles without any campaign plan at all. So we slowed them down. I think lots of times we find that if you can explain this to board members, like Catherine said, what we're trying to accomplish with this campaign announcement, and general rule of thumb, it is no longer 50% of the money raised. It is at least 70% or more. So I was able to get a board to back off recently by just simply saying, we typically see capital campaigns around the country being announced at 70% of the goal or even more percentage. And they're going, oh, okay, we can wait. So it always helps to have a rule of thumb that you can quote to board members.
And it helps too to say that you are raising money. I mean, sometimes they equate announcing the campaign that fundraising doesn't even start till we've announced a campaign. So you need to show them that the campaign's moving forward, the fundraising is moving forward, and you are raising money. And as Gail said, show them where the 70% comes into play. They get it. They're generally smart people.
So you have just heard how to announce a campaign, when to announce a campaign, what is the true purpose of a capital campaign, and how do you handle your board members in the campaign announcement. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody.
Thank you.